second part of our Kenyon Historic Walking Tour. Interestingly enough, we are at the Kenyon Leader Office. The leader has been housed in this particular building on 2nd Street for over 100 years. In the year 1908, there was a huge fire that ran all down 2nd Street, taking out most of the businesses. This building and many of the others were built following that fire. Inside the leader office, as in many of these buildings downtown, you can still see the original historic touches, the stamped metal ceilings and the original paint in many cases on the sidewalls. Along the hallway here in the leader office we have the archives, the volumes of the leader from the past. Down here on the main floor we have everywhere from 1926 up to current day. And there are a few older ones around as well. Look at the neat details, the old metal stamped ceiling again. This, behind these doors here, goes up a long staircase up to a top level. The right hand side has been made into apartments, which are not used right now, but the left hand side there was actually an old speakeasy. Dance hall, complete with a little kitchen area where they used to serve food, and then they had dancing, and there's a floor to ceiling set of folding doors that can be opened or closed depending how much space they needed for the dancing. And they even have long chairs or benches built in along each wall. The Martin Fox garage. It's actually very beautiful when you look at it closely. Note the interlaying brickwork and the different colors they use to stand out as a design. The Kenyon Hotel building has interesting history. It began as the north wing of the Kenyon Public School. When they built the new school in 1915, James C. Feely bought the building and actually had it moved to this location. Can't imagine what it would have taken in 1915 to move a 3-story building. Generation of electricity was first accomplished in Kenyon by M.T. Gunderson and Sons through the mill power plant. Back in 1931, citizens of Kenyon voted to build their own power plant. In 1976, the city actually stopped using it as full-time supply of power. Right now it's kept mainly as backup. They call it the utility built by the people, for the people. .517 at Red Wing Avenue, built around 1920. It's a bungalow style home. Is a very open floor plan. They wanted form and function to come together, and so things were opened up and combined to make them more efficient for space. .23 Red Wing Avenue, right next to the bungalow, is an example of a 4-square prairie style home. Prairie style, if you think of Frank Lloyd Wright, the famous architect, very open in design, being able to see from one room to the next and incorporating outside elements into the home design. And the 4 square, of course, relates to the basic structure of the home. .615 Forest Street, it was owned at one time by Helen and Joseph Seveland. He worked for the railroad in town. .504 Forest Street. What a unique home. It's Queen Anne's style. And notice the little offset side entrance. Hip roof with lower offset gables. Notes this as being one of the best preserved Queen Anne style homes in the town of Kenyon. The S.A. Bullis House, here now on Forest Street, actually was built on the corner of 2nd and Bullis Streets. Was a home, and then interestingly it was bought by St. Michael Church in Kenyon and used as a Catholic church for about a decade. After that it was purchased and moved over to this location, which is actually next to the old Kenyon High School here on 4th Street. Okay, Don Skillstead, you are quartermaster here at the Kenyon VFW, Conrad
Austin
Post.
141.
All right. How long has the VFW been in the old Stene Block building?
Since 1919. Conrad Austin Post 141 is named after Conrad Austin, who was a young man from Kenyon and died in World War I. So they named, he was the first young man from Kenyon to be killed in war.
Oh, what a distinction,
yeah,
but
yep.
Remembered forever.
Yep, he'll be remembered forever. Just a hall up there with the stairway over here. Many people remember dances Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night. At that time, all product was carried upstairs. Coal or fuel oil was all carried upstairs.
Oh my goodness.
And they had like usually about 3 dances a week. The Masons met on the other side of the building, and if you want to take a look outside, there was a little balcony out there, and you've probably seen some of the pictures. VFW purchased what was a hardware store, put in a small bar, and saved money, and as they saved the money, then they purchased a grocery store and added making a dining area.
So those other businesses were here in this area that we're standing in right now.
Correct.
There was hardware store, grocery store, and over time...
Drugstore where the bar is. These are all the state commanders from Kenyon. And we have the distinction of being the only VFW in the state of Minnesota with 6 veterans that are past state commanders in the VFW. Sandstead was the very first state VFW commander, the very first one. And he was commander in 1920 and 21, and so that's when the VFW organized on a statewide basis. And then we have, I'll tell you that.
Oh, look at that.
That we had a VFW meeting here with the commander and quartermaster and adjutant sat up there, and then one of the officers sat over here. What a lot of people don't realize is that we've got a movie theater or a projection room up here, and there was a screen there, and they'd show movies.
Oh, the details and the chairs, and they're up on a little ledge. The floor. I love this floor. Oh my gosh.
And with a lot of those organizations back in those days, members would sit on the sides, leaving the floor open for any floor activity.